Hello my friends and welcome back to our continued blind let's play Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Remaster for the PS5. My name is the FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today we continue on with case 4-4. Trying to figure out what to do with this line here, but unfortunately I think I fell into the developer's trap. So let's jump into this and let's solve this riddle, shall we? So in the past, a lot of the times when you get to this type of situation, the game wants you to follow through on this because it opened up something new for you to question. However, Intro pointed out, hey, you know that thing that you did before that Clavier said was too early? Maybe you should go back and do that thing. And without outright telling me, I'm like, oh, yes, I remember that, but that's not usually how the game works. And that is indeed the trap I fell into. I was so narrow-minded onto what I expect the game to do. I wasn't thinking about what Apollo Justice is trying to tell me to do. And yeah, I got fooled here. I definitely got fooled. So I need to go back to this one. I need to press this one. And I need to ignore the candies being poisoned. And there's something new there. Mr. Misham ingested that poison via route other than the coffee. I can prove it. Proof is possible. Here goes nothing. Hope you all having a wonderful, fantastic day today as we're serenaded by the great Clavier. You do understand what we need, yeah? Proof, hair for head, not possibilities. Of course, and Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof. What did you say? I have proof of the disappearing envelope. I saw him writing a letter, I did! Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume. Of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it. A stamp? As we all know, stamps come with dry glue on the back. In order to use the glue, we had to wet it by licking the stamp. You know what's interesting about that is, you go to a post office today, you can still get stamps. But one of the things you can do is you can get an envelope with a stamp already on the envelope. So you never even needed to lick the stamp anymore. Just go by the envelope and you have the stamp and boom, there you go. Fair. No one but talking to actually licks stomps in this day and age. Oh yeah, see, there he goes. Objection! Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all. Objection! Okay, so lick the stomp, but wait. How does that explain the atroquinine on the rim of the coffee mug? Objection! Well, after you licked the stamp, he then took a drink. If you licked the back of a poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if you put the coffee mug to his mouth, huh? And that's why the coffee wasn't poisoned, but the edge of the mug was poisoned. Aha! Oh, the dots. Those traces on the mug, what the killer's doing, it was the other way around. And we know it's the slow-acting poison. What? The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Misham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Order. But that doesn't, does it? Recall, if you would. Atroquinine is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on the envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe. That's convenient timing. More importantly, though, where is the jury system in this case? Like, we haven't heard from it at all, except the judge being paranoid about it. He seems to agree with me. You have something to add, Mr. Bushel? Uh-oh, his nose is picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put the letter in his envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp, end quote. But you know, I don't seem to remember ever him fighting one. Maybe he just ran out. Incidentally, they searched the Death Star at the scene of the crime. There were no stomps, not a single one. That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison? Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was the poison impossible. Ha 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 ha. Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stomp at the scene in the first place. No, but I do have a poison frame. And I haven't had a chance to use it yet, so maybe that is the evidence I need to use. Well, let's see what the face has to say anyway. Where's the evidence that proves the existence of this poison stamp? It's gotta be the frame. Well, that certainly is a cute little frame, and by little I really mean little. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that too during my inspection. So what? Apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important. Missing something? Yes, a pale blue stain on the inside of the frame. Atroquinine residue. What? Why wasn't I told about this? Well, the frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most. You aren't saying... Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps? Order, order, order. Poison stamp was in this frame? Impossible. But Prosecutor Gavin, why would he put something like that on the desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he could commit death if the mood struck. You know, can I say something? I had a thought, see? What, Mr. Bushel? And please stop jittering around like that. The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger spreads, makes enemies too, end quote. So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him. Objection! And he slams the back desk, or the wall. Oh, Vitch, that's Vitch. Lead the ridiculous flights of fancy to the governor's song lyrics, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stomp was a murder weapon, nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one. Oh, I disagree. Could come again. Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Misham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. The mail. Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew red letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon. Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon. I might not have the evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together. What is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Bishop was killed. Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice. A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Bishop the stamp of death. Okay, so I need something... Oh. Could it be the business card? Could. Could it be the forged paintings? Could. Could it be the red envelope? Could. Could be the letterbox. Could. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here on what it could be. But here's the thing, with the intent to kill, that's the key word, the intent to kill. Apollo, what are you trying to show me? You're trying to show me that someone intended to kill him because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. This, right? Because this is threatening. Sign the papers and send with the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp. With the enclosed stamp. Someone sent him a stamp. Booyah! That's gotta be it. Isn't this the envelope, the one from 7 years ago? Think about the text of the letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. But page 2. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. Ugh. In other words, if I heard this straight, the stamp poison on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp, end quote. Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox. 15 minutes would have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system. You know, the other one was called Turnabout Serenade, but maybe this one should be called Turnabout Serenade, and that one should have been called Turnabout Flashback. Because that one was full of flashbacks, and this one is full of air guitars. Such a splendid imagination you have, hair for head. Huh? Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So, this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago, yeah? Is that what you have been telling us to believe, really? Well, okay, he's got a point. If this is from 7 years ago, then why would he have sent this now? The only thing is, it's not from 7 years ago. It had to have been within like a day or 2 or 3 ago. Well, it is a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? What possibility? A poison stamp in this envelope, a step that became the murder weapon. How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well, it was 7 years ago. We don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to... Is this Phoenix? This has to be Phoenix, right? It's not nice to pick on the 4-line clavier. Huh? No, it's not! What? Wait, I'm oh! Wait, what happened? What happened is, Ima did Gavin's brother's voice in a way that made it seem like it was him, but it's actually her. Is that it? That was a really weird transition there. That kind of messed with my brain for a second. Ima. It almost made it seem like both of them were on the stage, or on the defense at once. Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression, did I sound like him? You see, that's what I'm saying. It messed with my brain there for a second. Don't quit your day job. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, 4-line detective? Someone had to come dig you out of all the mess you're making of this case. Mess? You know, none of this would happen if you just trusted in science a little more. You can find out that that stamp was in the envelope easy. Care to explain yourself, 4-line detective? Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right? That's right. The poison detection spray. Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court. Spray detection agent. I hate how there's like a delay in the spray. Like, it's not quick. You gotta wait for it. Oh, right here. That's where the stamp was. And it's got poison. Well, would you look at that? No mistake in it. That's atriquinine residue. I don't believe it. Murder weapon from the past. Now 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last. Objection! That rhymes. Cool. Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why. Why did this murder take place 7 years ago? Well, there's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out. Figured it out? What out? He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stop. And put his decisive evidence in a frame? Heck, you're still here? Could I make a statement here on the record? I, Spark Razor Tooth Bushel, claim this scoop as mine. Drew Misham killed in cold blood by sender of 7-year-old letter, end quote. No, maybe something more succinct. Star falls after 7-year delay, end quote. Oh dear God. Order. I see no room for further argument here. Though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp is ticket straight to afterlife, end quote. Uh-oh, I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge. See, no need for further debate on this matter. Sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant. Apollo, I think we just won. Very well. This court finds the defendant. Objection! Like I said, Turnabout Serenade is this one. Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor, Kevin? A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Governor's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. But it doesn't make sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Herr Forehead's claim. Contradiction? A poison stamp was placed in the envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Misham have done what he did? Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poisoned. Therein lies the verb. Huh? 7 years ago, the forger drew Misham since a trap and put the stamp in a flame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did you use that stamp on the night of the murder? Yeah, that's a very good point. Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot? He put the murder weapon in a flame for his desk for 7 years and forgot? You expect us to believe he's spraying the trap on himself? Well, I admit this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that he would fail a trap. That had been sitting on his desk for 7 years. Apollo? I don't think we're winning anymore. Nope. Oh, I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you. Objection! Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed.
Objection!
What about the atroquinine residue, huh? Oh, I agree. That does seem to be atroquinine residue. But hair for head, it's certainly no stomp. Huh? Yeah, but even if your precious poison stomp did exist, Misham never would have used it. That is all. Irk. I believe we come to a conclusion. Again. Apollo? Were we wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. The poison traces matches up. It can't be a coincidence. I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison atroquinine on the document inside that envelope. Similar trace was also found at the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame, the fences indicate the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it. Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp. I'm afraid you're right. Which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case. I have been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. The traces of atroquinine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Misham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us? The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of this evidence makes no sense. Which means that one of our clues must be a fake. Ah, a fake clue. Fascinating. Is there forged evidence? Like a fake evidence? And if we find this fake, your vile fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah? The fake clue that's thrown off the poison trail is none other than... the fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail. The frame? Like, why would you put a stamp in a frame? That has been kind of bugging me. This frame is a fake clue? Without a doubt, Your Honor.
Objection!
Wasn't it you who presented this evidence to the court? Oh. Hold on a second, Apollo. The poison on the envelope, that frame, and the coffee mug, they're all connected somehow. Oh, right. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm thinking. I can hear it already. It looks like the fake was you, Air Forehead. We can flog ourselves later, Apollo. Now's the time for thinking. The fake clue so it's off is none other than... Okay, so it's probably going to be the red envelope. So let me choose Drew Misham. That the victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand. Love the judge. I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim itself. Okay, maybe this was the right answer. I have a habit of doing that. Thinking like something is wrong and then getting it right because I'm thinking it's wrong.
Objection!
Congratulations. You've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master fake himself, the forger. It makes a good story, I'll give you that. The fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Ah. I know that face. That's the I just had an idea face. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? Come again. 7 years ago, our forger slipped a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into the very same trap and dies. Why? Well, that's what I want to know. Because the forger was killed. Was a fake? Wait, you're saying someone took his place? Here we are again. The victim was a fake. One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's 2 forgers, and one of them was a fake. I love this music. Let's go! Order, order, order. So you're telling us that Dumisham, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was a fake, then who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us just who the real Dumisham was. Well, the real Dumisham, please stand up, please stand up, please stand up. But Dumisham wasn't the real forger. There's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Dumisham was himself a forgery. The real forger was, oh my god. How the heck am I supposed to know? Valent. No, because Valent's still alive. Valent's still alive. But it makes sense because Valent has the ability to like disguise himself. We saw that in the last case. He put off a very, very remarkable lemur, right? Could be his daughter. Like father, like daughter? No, but they were both in the room. But Valent's not dead. Attorney makes wild claim, becomes subject of mystical, end quote. Better come up with something quick before that story goes to print. Okay, that's not it. His daughter? There can be only one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger, known as Dumisham, is none other than his only daughter, Farrah Misham. Order, order, order. Mr. Justice, going out on a limb even for you. I kind of agree. I mean, Farrah a forger? Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, the fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in the trap 7 years ago. This could only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger studios. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I thought it was Valent. Valent wasn't even, like, tied to this. What threw me off was the business card, the Vera's card. But this wasn't given. Valent never went to the studio. He talked to the reporter. Yeah, that's why I got that wrong. If we know that Drew Mission wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility by process elimination. I'm not gonna get everything right all the time, you know? That forger was Vera Bishop. Well, fascinating. Vera Misham? You been paying attention to the trial so far? Let's just ask or be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger? Do Misham? Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face. She doesn't seem to be. Oh, she's very shy by normal standards. I'm used to being stared at by 4 lines, believe me. Though they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged the Ox of Art? Yes. Huh? So the forger Drew Mission was you? Oh, look at that one. Oh, it's sad. Aww. Aww. Yes, it was me. What? The court was in uproar and it was coming down. We had a break for a 10-minute recess. To be continued. And this case is getting wilder and wilder and wilder. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, yes. Continue next chapter. October 8th, 1:24 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 6. That was normally like number 3. Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Jew Mission was killed. Wasn't Jew Mission, the forger, basically. Huh? Well then, who was he? Well, he was actually... doing her nails. So, you really made those forgeries? Yes, for father. I know it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent? For making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? Sorry, knock on my door, how to answer it. Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those forgeries. I've never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already creating your works back then. I started when I was only 12 years old. So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time. Wait, Farah, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio? I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice. Yes? Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. Your late father? He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright and Company law offices. Why? But lately we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet, when father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. Huh? Who was Mr. Misham? How am I supposed to know? What if he was Daddy's daddy? Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around. We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. October 8th, 1:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Oh dear lord, this is just... I mean, it's this case is already getting wild, and we know that there's something attached to this case from like 7 years ago. And I think this is only case 4. What are they setting up for case 5? I would imagine this case will go by pretty quick, right? Because that seemed to be the tradition. Case 4 happens very fast, and then case 5 is the longer close. So this may be the final sequence of trial here, but there still seems like so much that we don't know. That I mean, how is this case gonna end so quickly though? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Intermission Forger persona? There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you'd better answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one? Yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. So, she was the one who made the forgeries? Yes, she now wished to reveal the truth of the operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. I've done a bad thing. Haven't I? Regardless, they need a little more information. About, for instance, this. Huh? You have seen this before, yeah? Yes, it was in the desk drawer. Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. Witness testimony. The red envelope. I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work that was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. Look at the stamp. Look at the drawing. She's so good. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony.
Not that the witness realizes it.
Very well, please begin the cross-examination.
Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Misham. Alright, come on, Apollo. Tell me what we need to know. I created things and Father sold them. So these things you are making are, you mean the paintings identical to other paintings, right? The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12. Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Objection!
Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery.
True. Please tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may well have killed your father.
All right. This envelope came after my first work that was other than a painting. Other than a painting? What'd you make? Yeah, by other than a painting you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point? Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings. For instance, a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter.
None of this makes her sound very innocent at all.
And the 100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Dumasham.
A new industry?
The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh. Father handled the deal, all of it. So, you didn't know how the things you were making were being used. I enjoyed painting very much. I think I understand. The Fräulein has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that went in this envelope? Father signed them and sent them back, I believe. Did he follow the instructions? Send an enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp?
This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought.
I received the stamp that was in that envelope. What do you mean you received it? Did I do something wrong? You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Atraquinine.
Objection!
A moment, for head. Huh? You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps, you will tell me, Fräulein Vera. Why did you receive this stamp?
Is something wrong?
It was beautiful.
You mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
Yes, I think it was. So, you didn't know about the poison? Look at that face. Aww. I guess not. So the trap failed by chance, by mistake. Thanks to this commemorative stamp.
Quite the close call.
It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Bisham wished to reduce the visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work. So that was the real essence of the artist, Drew Misham. You did the work and he supplied the face.
So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in.
So sad. Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp. Could you tell us more about it? It was very pretty, and more than that. Yes? It was a picture of people I liked at the time. Huh? This is something new. Apparently, they've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue testimony for line. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. The Grammaries. My magicians? I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat? You're confusing mysterious with freaky. Oh, I love Mr. Hat. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See? Isn't magic great? Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited. But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. 7 years ago. I was quite sad. Did you say what I think she said? Magic troupe? Now where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client. Whoever wanted a forger made. Apollo? We're close. We just have to piece it together, the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path it took to take to Mushim's life. Okay, so... So I think the last one is the one we had to attack, right? Favorite magician, so we kept it. But is that a contradiction though? I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. Let me press again. I want to hear what Apollo has to say. My magicians. So I'm trying to see if Apollo tells me this is what I'm supposed to do. Did you just say what I think she said? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what we had to do here. We had to present the magic show. We had to tell them that the Gramarys are tied with this. Objection! Yep. Makes sense. Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? It's kind of weird though, because normally you press for, you present evidence for contradictions. But in this case, we're presenting evidence for elaborations. Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? Apollo? They're not a bunch?
I see. Still, I had to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter?
Good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better, and it can't be a true Grimmery.
But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin?
Why is he sweating so much?
Prosecutor Gavin?
Why is that name disturbing to him? Grammarly. What's with Gavin? Yeah, I like it when the protagonists are on the same page. Might I ask just one question of the witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work other than a painting. Please tell me, what exactly did you make? Good question. Can I ask why? No, answer the question now. Eek!
Prosecutor Gavin, you're usually not the one whose volume concerns me.
Yes, it is unbecoming of me, I apologize. But I must know, please, Miss Mishim, tell me. It was a book. A single page in a book. A book, please be more specific. It was a handwritten book, like a diary. I like how his ring has the Gavinier symbol. That's cool. Okay, he's freaking out. No, I don't. The heck? What's going on? Well, what's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost. Miss Misham, this book. There's something I don't know. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no? How did you know? Objection! Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all your questions. I demand to know what's going on here. Stop badgering her. He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor, nothing. Sullied? Who? Mentor? Phoenix Wright. Who else? Daddy? He never told you about the tiles 7 years ago. Nope, not a thing. About how he came to lose his attorney's badge. Huh? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary on the back above the mark of a silk heart. What? So this is all connected. Phoenix Wright tossed out the profession by false evidence, but did he know it was false? And the forger who made that evidence is her? Is this girl standing right in front of me? How is this all connected? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked to Miss Sham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it? Please don't say Phoenix Wright. All right, my friends. Well, my name is... No, I'm not doing... That would be evil. Yeah, all the dots. Tell me. I want to know. We only met once. You? You met the client? Well, who was it? It was... Yes? Come on! What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Puskadagam's face again. Yes, but... Is there something about me? Is it your brother? Come on! I remember clearly. Maybe that's why she's staring at him so much. She recognizes the similarities. I remember who gave me the book, the diary. Come on, who was it? Stop with all the dots! I love dots, but come on! For Pharaoh! Oh, come on! The devil. Oh, that doesn't help me at all! Defendant Vera Mission, condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis, acute atrichonine poisoning? Wait, she's been poisoned? This ends the recording for the trial of the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant? The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She is currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. Oh, look at him! And that is where we must go. Oh, look at little Juicy! To find the whole truth. Oh, she's adorable. Okay. So, now we are going to end the video. I mean, we'll only have 53 minutes, but I mean, come on, this is a perfect spot to do it. So, my name is FlightlessBird. This is your Story-Based Gaming channel, and this is our continued blind Let's Play Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Remastered for the PS5. Much love to you all. Hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, awesome day, and until next time, hope you guys have a great one. So long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.